And still on page 137, we're just looking at the bottom part now. Okay, copy and solve. It says graph the pair of points, then find the distance between them. Okay, now on the last video though, we did practice finding them without graphing. So I'm going to try a few finding the distance between them without graphing, remembering what mistakes I made on the top part of the page. Okay, let's look at number 5. So we have x and y. X and y. Our x values are the same, so I have to look at the y's. Now, these are negative and positive, so I need to add them together. And I need to add the absolute value. So 5 plus the absolute value of negative 5. Now that would be 5 plus the absolute value of negative 5 we learned is 5. So this has a total distance of 10. Now, of course, on your graph paper, you can graph these 2 points to check your answer. Okay. If I go on to number 6, x and then y, x and then y, my x values are the same. My y values, I have positive and negative, so I can add them, but I need to add the absolute values. Absolute value of 1 is 1, plus the absolute value of negative 3, and that would be 1 plus the absolute value of negative 3 would be positive 3. So those are 4 apart. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 7. X and then y, x and then y. Again, our x values are the same, so we look at our y values. Now they are both negative, so that means they're going to be in the same quadrant together. Okay, so that means I need to subtract the absolute values. So the absolute value of negative 5 minus the absolute value of negative 1. So the absolute value of negative 5 would be 5, minus the absolute value of negative 1 would be 1. 5 take away 1, the distance apart should be 4. Okay, let's look at number 8. Sorry about that. Okay, again, we have x and y, x and y. Okay, in this case, our y values are the same. So we look at 7, negative 7, and 5. Since we have a positive and a negative, we can add them. So that we add the absolute value of negative 7 plus 5. The absolute value of negative 7 plus 5 would be 12. So the distance between the 2 points would be 12. Okay, number 9, we have x and y, x and y. Here our x values are the same, so we look at the y values. Okay, negative 6 and negative 10. Since they are both negative, we have to subtract again. Remember, when they have the same sign, we subtract. When they have different signs, we add. So we want the absolute value of negative 10. And remember, when I subtract, I want to use the larger number first. So the absolute value of negative 10 minus the absolute value of negative 6. The absolute value of negative 10 would be 10, minus the absolute value of negative 6 is 6. So the distance between those 2 points would be 4. Now, of course, at any time, we can graph these and check. Okay, we can always graph them and check like we did on the previous problems at the top of the page. Okay, number 10, we have x and y, x and y. Our x values are the same. Okay, 0 is really isn't considered negative or positive, and then we have negative 8, excuse me. So we can actually do either one on this problem. We can add or subtract, and let me show you why. Okay, if we add, since 0 is neither negative or positive, if we added 0 plus the absolute value of negative 8, that would be 0 plus 8, which would give us a distance of 8. If we subtracted, we would put the bigger number first, absolute value of negative 8 minus 0, absolute value of 8 is, or negative 8 is 8 minus 0, and we get 8. So you can see either way, we still get the same answer. Okay, and that's because that 0 is neither negative or positive. All right. Let's go to the 11, 12, and 13. It says write the coordinates of a point. That is the given distance from the given point. Okay. So I think I would rewrite it how we rewrote these ones, or how these ones were written. So we have x and y, and we have x and y, and they told us the x has to be 3. So in this case, the x values are 3. So what would the y value need to be in order to make it 4 units away from this point? Okay. Well, we look at the y values, so we have 5. And then 5, what do we need to do to 5 so it equals 4? Well, now it's pretty obvious. We need to take away 1. Okay. So since we need to subtract, we want to make sure the signs are the same. Okay, because remember, we add when the signs are different. Here's a negative 7 and a 5, so we added. The two signs were different, so we added the numbers. Here we needed to take away, so we need both signs to be positive. So it's going to be 5 and positive 1, and that's why we subtract. So this is going to be 3, 1. And again, we can graph these, though, to make sure that we're correct. All right, let me show you number 12 now. Same idea. So I would just rewrite it up here right next to it. That way it's more like problems 5 through 10 for us. Okay, we have some number and 1. Again, x and then y, x and then y. So our y values are the same, so we're looking at the x values. Okay. Now, we have 2, and it's going to be 6 units away. Okay. So we need to be plus 4 to get 6 units away. So does that mean I put 4 here? Well, think about it. If I put a positive 4 right here, that would mean both signs are the same. So I would actually need to subtract. Okay, so since I want to add, I want this to be a negative 4. Negative 4, 1. And then we can check it. We can either graph it, or we can do it like we've done before, where we say, okay, the absolute value of negative 4. So let's see, so we have a negative and a positive, so we need to plus the absolute value of negative 4 plus 2. Absolute value of negative 4 is 4 plus 2. That would give us our 6 units away that we need. Okay, number 13, we have negative 4, negative 1, and our second point starts with negative 4 and then has some other number. We don't know what this number is. But remember, it's x and then y, x and then y. Here, our x values are the same, so we're looking at our y values. we have -1, and we need to be 7 units apart from each other. Okay, so I'm going to need to add, so that means this number, since I have a negative, whenever we add, we have a negative and a positive. See, we add, the y was positive and negative. The only time we subtract is when the number we're looking at both are negative. So I'm going to need a positive number here, and I'm going to need to add. So the absolute value of -1 plus what equals 7? Well, the absolute value of -1 is 1. 1 plus what equals 7? 1 plus 6. So this is going to be 4, 6. And again, we can graph these 2 points to double check ourselves. Okay. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.